You're okay. It's just a moment. Call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Here. Kelly?
Here.
Judy? Here. Lizzie? Here. Jeff?
Here.
Laura? Here.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you everyone for coming. And I'd like to just please be respectful of your speaking tonight. Same thing from the council. Public participation. State your name.
My name's Ryan Gerald. I'm a property owner and business owner here in Camden. Before I start, I just want to clarify that Lizzie, you do post these videos of the council, correct?
Yes.
Okay, where, can you tell me how we can find those and where if you'll be posting tonight's?
I will be posting tonight. It's Camden.
Ryan, I can send it to you.
Okay, that'd be great.
Cause I don't know if it's on there.
Okay, so my questions today are mostly for you, Lizzie. When did you join council?
January 1st of 2024.
Okay. I read your post on Facebook and a bunch of your comments, and now I have several questions. Listed under your post titled "Concerns with Trina Bronson as an employee" was inaccurate medship money of over $20,000 that came up missing. Since my business was named, I'm an owner of Medship. Can you please tell me what money you're referring to?
When it's on my phone, it's being recorded. It was a relief fund. It came across our desk, and you guys had said like, hey, we're ready for your guys' for our money. And at the time, Nancy Melton was also on council. It flagged our radar because the amount that was in the account under that relief fund was not the exact amount that was being requested. So then council held it and they looked into it, other people on council. It was then pulled from general funds and replaced so that we could in fact give you your the funding that we were holding for you. The name of that is on my notes on my phone, but
Okay.
it's currently being used.
All right, so I have the numbers. That fund actually had $207,000, $498.93 when it first hit the account. Those were COVID relief funds,
Yes.
correct? Okay, and then there was a withdrawal of $25,000 out of that account. Do you have any idea where that went?
I've asked on multiple occasions for clarification.
Who did you
and
ask?
The mayor.
Okay, Kelly, you helped us with this. Do you have any idea where the $25,000 went? I have a copy that it was withdrawn.
I'm pretty sure now that it went to demolition project on Second Street.
Because all of these funds had to be used for demolition, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Correct. So it wasn't actually missing. So can we just say on the record that it's not a concern that Trina Bronson took $25,000 out of the account?
I never said that she took it. I said it was missing, and it was enough of a red flag that myself, Nancy Melton, and the county auditor office, Vaughn, all had the same concerns and wanted to know where the money was. And all of us talked to the state for it.
I've been here for 3 minutes and I've already figured out where it was. Interesting that you put that on Facebook. Okay, let's move on. You listed a concern of Trina being drunk at work. That's a very serious allegation. Can you please tell me if you tested her for alcohol before making that allegation?
I said that there was concerns that were brought to me by residents of this community, and it was brought up to the mayor, to which he responded, she's an adult.
And what was the reasoning behind someone saying that she was drunk at work?
They said that they witnessed her stumbling, slurring her words, and purchasing alcohol in the middle of the day, insisting on cold bottles of wine instead of what was on the shelf. They had concerns, I brought it to the mayor. The mayor then in fact ignored them and moved on with his life and brushed it off. Never got back with me with anything saying that he checked in on it.
So it had nothing to do with a picture that was circulated on Facebook of Trina buying a bottle of wine by perhaps on her break. If I go during my work break to Kroger and I buy a 6-pack of beer and some steak for my dinner, am I drunk when I buy the beer or am I drunk when I drink it?
I never said it was when there. It was before I spoke to the mayor before that picture ever got circulated.
Interesting. Okay. We have very little turnover at MedShip because we do our absolute best to take care of our team. While I am absolutely in support of our maintenance crew and police getting raises as well, it does not take away the need to pay Trina and anyone else in her role a competitive amount unless you want a revolving door. That being said, was Trina's pay voted on by council?
It was.
It was, and it was passed, correct?
Correct.
You posted on Facebook that Kelly Duran chose to give her a raise, and I quote, because they're best friends.
He
So,
advocated for that.
let me finish. So is Trina best friends with all council members, or are you saying that Kelly's vote was the only one that was counted or mattered?
I believe that their personal feelings on Trina is biased to their vote due to the fact that she was given a very large raise, but everyone else was told that they had to wait because the financial report she was responsible of doing was not done in time. And other people in the community feel the same. If we're gonna give raises, it needs to be fair, and the fact that the person prior to her had 20 years experience,
So that's what this is about, is the person prior to her.
and now the state average is $21.44, I believe. The fact that $25 for somebody that had a year experience makes no sense.
So this has nothing to do with the person that was here prior to her. Is that what you're saying? Your feelings towards this situation and perhaps Trina?
I think that my feelings are based on the fact that it doesn't fit the state average, and that amount was because she continued to say that MedShip was giving her a job offer of $25 an hour, and if we didn't pay her that amount, she would leave. That was the conversation.
So you don't think that you should pay her role a competitive rate?
I don't think that somebody with a year's worth of experience deserves $25 an hour, and I don't think a raise should have been done at that moment until the financial report was done and we could give everyone raises.
How many businesses have you run with employees that you've hired?
None.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on. You claimed on Facebook that Trina mishandled a resident's check that was marked to pay the water department because she said she didn't feel like driving to Oxford. Speaking of Trina's pay, do we pay, or does Camden pay or reimburse her for her gas, her car payments, or her car insurance?
Yes.
Anything that she drives around her gas, her mileage should be reimbursed.
Did you know that Camden's responsible if Trina's in a car wreck and she was driving for something for Camden Council?
And that goes for all of our work crew when they drive around, and our police and everybody else.
Okay,
She
so what was
waiting.
the reason that she needed to drive to Oxford for this check?
Because the check was to a specific account. That account was not at that bank, and the bank teller, who was there, said that that is what she said. She didn't feel like going.
So for
She
that
never
particular
once-
bank,
She never once asked the person whose check it was if it was okay that she change it in any way, and she should never have done that.
okay, so the reason why somebody wrote a check to First Financial Bank, correct, was because there used to be a First Financial Bank on this corner, and they would waive your fees because you could pay at the bank. Since First Financial Bank is no longer there, and they've moved to Oxford. So you're telling me, because you made a lot of allegations on wasting taxpayer money, right? You're telling me that to save a resident from paying a fee on a water bill, you think it's appropriate for Trina to be reimbursed, somebody said yes back here, reimbursed for gas, her car payments, mileage, I'm not sure what you reimburse. You think that that's appropriate, not to mention it takes at least 20 minutes to get there. Let's just say she spends 5 minutes in the bank and she has to drive 20 minutes back. So we just paid her for 45 minutes of her time and taxpayer money because somebody didn't want to pay their bill or send it and make it to the village of Camden. You think that's best for taxpayer money?
I think the appropriate action would have been contacting those people and telling them the situation and asking if they could rewrite the check, because the check was not to a specific bank, it was to the water account.
Your complaint said nothing about contacting the person. Your complaint specifically said that she didn't feel like driving to Oxford.
Because that's what
If
she
she
told
was,
the bank.
and I will tell you as a community member business owner, that is an absolute waste of taxpayer money to pay Trina to go pay somebody's water bill in Oxford. But I'll move on. You stated on Facebook that concerns of inappropriate spending of taxpayer dollars on Amazon using the village credit card regarding Trina. You actually started making this allegation in early 2024 to the county auditor. So you started in January. By March, there was an investigation opened because of your complaints, where a surprise visit from the county auditor, LaVon Wright, came with her staff member Kim to go through the accounts, the statements, and the receipts. Were you aware of that?
That was Nancy Melton who started that.
No, this was LaVon Wright that came here to go through the accounts. So,
Due to a complaint made by Nancy Melton, who's no longer on council.
okay, but you are aware that the records were audited. Trina's records were audited.
No, correction, they went through, you can talk to LaVon.
I have an email, I'll read it.
She went through records, she helped her get things sorted out, she looked at printed documents only. She did not go through her UAN, she did not go through the Amazon account.
What
or
was
the
her
Craigslist
findings?
account. She was looking for a specific thing for Nancy Melton, not for myself.
No, not true. Does anyone actually have an email or anything from LaVon?
I do. I actually spoke with Lavon about this complaint, and she came down to get the expenditure files. They placed them in this room, went through them all, with focus on the Amazon purchases and credit card bills, and they found nothing concerning. To take it a step further, I also reached out personally to a past fiscal officer, current finance director, who looked at her bank reconciliations, who spent weeks here and also found no wrongdoing.
So they found no wrongdoing, they found absolutely no extra charges by Trina on Amazon.
Who was the second person?
Second person for what?
You mentioned a second person other than LaVon that came
Finance
out.
director, city finance director.
Stephanie? Well, when I talked to Stephanie last year, she said on the phone with me that it was concerning, and that when I said, should there be any issue with the 2023 audit, she said, yes, there should be concerns.
Well, seeing how we got left with no fiscal officer for several weeks, I mean, it is concerning to look back and go, we have a huge gap to fill. So you saying that what I said, yeah, you took a little bit of what I said and ran with it, because I did have concern. It
The
was
bottom.
concerning for anybody.
I'm not talking about your statement, I'm talking about Stephanie's statement.
Well,
Stephanie
I
said the
wasn't
same
in
thing.
a conversation with Lizzie, so I don't really know what she said. I know what she said to me, and I can attest to that.
The bottom line is you put on Facebook that Trina is spending money on Amazon on the city credit card. Yet the auditor came in and pulled her records and found nothing. You have all these people here in support of you right now because everybody believes everything they read on Facebook. You put all this like half truths out, all this stuff out there.
Not everybody, sir, you are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
don't
mean-
know us.
I'm trying.
I didn't
Shit,
mean,
man.
there's just a lot of people.
Yeah. And when you
Anywho,
talk over.
I apologize,
And what's
I'm
wrong
sorry.
with
A
that?
lot of red flags, sorry.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got Camden, so I'm
Okay, well, let me keep.
sadly, I've been here.
Okay, so, Lizzie, do you think it's appropriate to attack people on their body size?
The body size,
Yes.
it depends on if are you attacking or are you describing? For instance, when I described,
Give me an example.
when I'm speaking with certain people, I described the fact that, Jeff here is 3 times my size. That's not attacking his
Whoa.
size, that's just giving an example of he's a lot bigger than me. So context matters.
So you would feel comfortable if somebody made that same comment about you and your body?
Yeah, if they were comparing my size to them, it really doesn't matter. It's a
Fair enough.
comparison.
You called Jeff Steele a bully and a coward, and you said that he was spineless and uses his size to intimidate people. Do you think council members' marriages and personal lives are your business and should be attacked?
I don't understand how me saying that he uses his size to bully me, has anything to do with his marriage.
It doesn't. That's the next question. Do you think it's appropriate to attack people for their marriages and their personal lives? Your fellow council members.
I mean, their marriages are irrelevant to me.
Oh, well, that's interesting, because on Facebook you wrote, and I quote, Kelly Duran has lost his spark because of his marital problems. You also said that Judy Michael bosses her husband around and is his puppet master.
Yes, those are my opinions.
It's disgusting.
Ryan, I'm sure you've got quite a bit to go.
I don't have much.
We're gonna have to,
I don't have much.
alright.
You said that Laura is not part of the council, not part of it, when you describe council. Can you tell me what role you consider her in?
She's part of council, she's not just part of, when I say what's wrong with council in general, she has not done anything that I would consider a red flag. She's never tried to bully me or get me to comply with her opinion. She's never done any of the things that I find to be unprofessional or unethical as of certain people on the council.
Okay, well, I'm gonna end with this. I've had disagreements with almost every single person on this council, currently seated. One heated exchange between me and Kelly even made it into the newspaper. Kelly Duran owns the nicest gas station in town and owns 16 properties in Camden. He raised his children here, and his family has owned the depot for years. He's volunteered his time in Camden for years and was a key figure in fixing the very building that we are standing in. He was instrumental in connecting MedShip with Jobs Ohio, which eventually led us to getting a $750,000 grant to build our building, and his contributions to Camden should be appreciated, as should his family. Jeff and Shannon Steele have made a huge impact on Camden, as have their families for decades. Jeff's dad was on council. Shannon's mother, grandfather, their great-grandfather. Shannon was one of the original Camden Comeback members. They bought the Dover and turned it into a community center because their family loved that church and didn't want to see it vacant. I had the privilege of knowing Shannon's mom, who was very involved in the Camden archives. She was a wonderful lady and loved Camden. Her name was Joy. Joy Lane in Camden is named after her. That family has so much history in Camden. Carla Reisner was raised here as well. We went to high school together, and I love her dearly as we've always been friends. She has done endless amounts of work and fundraising for projects benefiting Camden. Every check I have ever written to Camden Comeback Committee was because of Carla's effort and work in fundraising. She works in the medical field, which is exhausting, yet still finds time to make Camden a better place. I've known of Trina Bronson for 20 plus years as I knew her sons in school. Since she started working here, she's never been anything but nice and professional to me. I don't know Dan and Judy Michael very well, but I do know that they're good people and are invested in Camden's success. The Michael family is also deeply rooted in Camden. There are a ton of Michael relatives in Camden. They are property owners and they're very involved in the Baptist church. My sister's my favorite council member. She's a single mom of 4 boys working full-time as a vice president at MedShed and still finds time to sit on council while she's not flying around the country for work or rushing to the next hockey practice. Her children go to school here and are active in sports. Our family brought MedShed here. Our grandma taught school here. Our grandpa was the mayor of Camden. They had a grocery store here. My grandma's 91 years old and still doing her real estate business here in Camden. These members of council are our neighbors, our friends, our family, landlords, and we visit their businesses. This storyline that you have created of some major conspiracy that the council members are destroying Camden is honestly the most absurd thing I've ever had to speak to. Lizzie, I have met you once, which was at the MedShip ribbon cutting. I only know you from what I read on Facebook, on your posts. While I appreciate all of the members that have been involved for decades, I do appreciate a new point of view. And I understand that you help in the food pantry and probably are involved in things that I'm not even aware that you're involved in. I have no doubt that you want to see positive change in Camden. That being said, while I encourage transparency, calling people bullies while attacking every single person you serve beside doesn't make any sense, and I'm embarrassed for you. I've never read any Facebook post or comment attacking you, your body size, or your family.
Yeah.
If there were no issues or decisions to be made, we wouldn't need a local government. Our council volunteers and our council are volunteers and deeply rooted community members making decisions which we might not always agree with, but you're elected there to solve problems, not to trash people on Facebook. That being said, I'm going to end this by urging council to protect and defend Trina and every single village employee from attacks and false allegations, and the harassment on Trina and all city council members by Lizzie needs to stop. Thanks.
Thank you, Ryan. Have anybody else to speak?
Dave Fugate, the association president for the fire department. We did have a meeting with the Fun Times Carnival Services about the proposed areas that you said that we could possibly have that. They have looked at Lafayette and Bloomfield, and we're seeing if that was an appropriate location. They're looking at having the carnival May 29th through May 31st. They will be doing their setup probably starting on Sunday to Monday. Because they have
Lafayette and Bloomfield.
Yes.
Anybody see a problem in that?
Is that Memorial Day weekend?
It's right out.
It's the same, it'll be the same setup as the Walnut Festival.
Yeah.
That'd be fine.
That'll be fine. Alright, cause they're gonna be sending me a contract here pretty soon, and I just wanted to make sure that I ran it by you guys before I signed that contract.
All right. Thank you.
Alright, well, thank you very much.
Anyone else? All right. Need a motion? For executive session?
Is Steve here? Are we going without Steve?
We'll start with that.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
For. This has to be.
Personnel issues.
No.
To discuss pending or threatened legal action.
Have a motion to have a second? Jeff motion, Carla second.
If this executive session is a result of my public Facebook post regarding, council and the fiscal officer, I request that it be a public meeting per my right of chapter 10, executive sessions, page 125.
What
of the
we're going in
open
for
meeting-
is, to discuss litigations that have been threatened toward us.
Well,
So that is not for public.
if this executive session is to consider a discipline of an elected official,
Anything disciplined would be in the public. You're gonna be disciplined, we'd come back out of there and come here and we would state what discipline would be. If there is gonna be discipline, I don't know that there will be. But if there was, it would be in a public meeting. It wouldn't be an executive session. We discuss things in executive session. And then we come out here and vote on it. Roll call, please.
Carla.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Yay.
Judy. Yay. Lizzie.
Yay.
Jeff.
Yay.
Laura.
Yay.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I need a motion to come out of.
I make a motion to exit executive session.
Second that.
Discussion, roll call.
Carla.
Yay.
Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Judy. Yay. Lizzie.
Yes.
Jeff. Laura. Yay.
All right, thank you. Staff reports. Rusty, you got anything?
I have nothing.
Okay. Anybody?
I only have one thing. I need to submit my temporary budget for the first quarter to the lawn. And I just
Okay.
need you all to vote on it, so I can submit it. It's just the temporary, we'll do the permanent in March.
You know, we
It's
need-
the appropriation. I make a motion that we, do the first quarter appropriation. It's just a temporary. Temporary.
Have a second? Discussion? Roll call?
Carla.
Yay.
Kelly.
Yay.
Judy. Yay. Lizzie.
Abstain.
Jay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who's that?
I abstained because I didn't see.
Okay, I didn't understand. Jeff.
Yeah.
Laura. Yay.
Thanks, thank you. All right, any old business? All right, new business. Back on staff reports, we got one from the Camden Police Department on the summary. Last year, in 24, they had 2,078 calls for service, 173 a month and 5.7 a day. And, we went from, 1,692 in 2023 to 2,078 in 24, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now, we're getting on new business. Alright. Approval of minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
No.
No, we minutes, we'll have to do our next one. Alright. Payroll.
Make a motion that we pay our employees.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Carla.
Yay.
Kelly.
Yay.
Judy. Yay. Lizzie.
Yes.
Jeff.
Yay.
Laura. Yay.
Do we have any invoices?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, purchase orders and invoices?
Is it still up there?
I didn't see any.
I don't see it.
Oh, it's all the way at the very top. I don't see that. Okay. I guess we should do that. I didn't see it.
One's the water.
We need to talk about that real quick. Yeah, this one, right on top. Since the water fund is running at such a deficit, we had to pull $126,920 out of the general fund to balance, well, to make, payments on the water system is what essentially amounts to. So we cannot do that again. Okay, so, rates are going to have to go up. I think a couple years ago, we talked about rates and then the escalator and all that, rates are gonna go. And, I don't know, I think you posted that I had said that rates need to go up, but it's actually, who was it that actually said rates need to go up? What's that guy's name?
It's from you, yeah.
Oh, Richard,
Richard, what's his title?
he's a fiscal trainer.
Fiscal trainer, and he identified a year ago that we were minimum $10 under what it's gonna cost to, keep our water system and our ability to pay the debt up. So, I didn't say that, he did,
I didn't post that.
whoever did. So, we're going to have to address this. I mean, we're going to have to address this. So, having said that,
Since you're talking about
Yeah.
this, we had made a motion several months ago to proceed with the trial of the utility company. And everybody had agreed.
oh yeah,
We kinda got delayed because of the water meters, coming in and us not installing them and everything. I did speak with Joel, he said that that company can still help us with all of that. We don't have to have the new meters installed, they can start right away. So I just wanna make sure we're still all on the same page. And it's still just a trial. But this will help with getting bills out in a timely fashion. It will help people understand their bills better. They'll have a company to talk to about discrepancies. The guys will have somebody to talk to. It takes all these middle people out of the problem. So,
that's too good to be true.
Trina, did they ever answer a question about, they said we would know our water accounts on real time, and then they said it wouldn't be real time.
It's not gonna be real time.
you can
Is
look
it
at
like
your bill.
monthly?
Now, you can look at your bill at any time and see what you owe, see what your usage is. So instead of waiting for your bill to come in, it'll still be online. You just can't get it
You can't look and say,
With-
I
yeah.
used 500 gallons today, and
versus
tomorrow I use,
You'd have to have,
200.
what is it, like some Wi-Fi and
Mhm.
meters.
It was a whole
It was a
huge
cellular.
monthly cost,
it was
several
saying
$100 a month.
So it would just be broken up like monthly, like electric and gas, those theirs?
Yeah, so you get like your electric company sends you, get everything, the breakdown. You would also have a customer service number to call. It would just eliminate all these problems.
Yeah, I've seen
We have
that
no issue.
before,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a trial, if the village
So what do you
don't
need?
like it.
You need us to make a
I
motion
just
to
wanna
try
make
it?
sure that no, we already made the motion.
Oh,
I
we
just
need
wanted
to
to make
implement?
sure that we're still on the same page.
Oh, I don't know.
And, cause I think there was some misconception that we couldn't move forward with the new meters, but we can.
Okay, cause I was under the impression we had to have. a
Yeah, I
meeting.
went back and asked, and he said that's not an issue.
So we can move forward.
I would have to get another quote from Software Solutions, is what I was told, if they were to handle that part of it and not be our representative like he would be. Cause he's basically taking the place of them.
Yes, so I'm not understanding.
She said she would have to, cause she's working with Badger herself. And then, so I don't think that he can do that part of it.
And maybe it's just a misunderstanding for me, like he didn't CC me on a copy of the email with him, but when I spoke with him, maybe I just misunderstood.
He does
He
make it
was
sound
supposed
that way.
to be, basically take over everything, so we have all of our bills, all, the system goes into one. Instead of having to reach out to you, and then having to reach out to the mayor, and having to reach out to Badger, and then talk to Rusty, or, it just eliminates most of that headache. So I don't see a reason why we can't trial it, and if people have a complaint, they can tell us and we can try to fix that or move forward to a different trial.
I speak with Software Solutions so much, I wanna make sure that we are actually on the same page, because I reach out to them a lot.
Let's get a clarification.
So that's, he says yes, I just really need to.
I still need to purchase orders and invoices.
Make the motion, we approve our purchase orders and pay our bills.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yay.
Abstain, I haven't seen.
Joe,
Yeah,
Laura, yay.
All right. Anybody else got anything, general thoughts you'd like to bring up? On the motion to adjourn here?
Why is the waterworks in the deficit now?
I'm sorry?
Why is the waterworks in the deficit?
Well,
Artist craftery. Yeah.
well, we've not raised rates, well, we raised rates once. This company, Cedar Kansas, I haven't really looked,
We dropped them on.
we've dropped them over the years. But is anyone here, is anyone?
Prices going up.
Yeah,
Yeah, but our Rita's also going up.
or what?
Rita, taxes.
If that's, we're talking about two separate things.
Well, I mean, we're still getting tax money from Rita, so why can't that pay for water fund?
That's what we just did.
Well, we need to keep doing it.
Well, because that will cause a constant drain and suck on the general fund, which is the hardest place to fund your local government. For example, what's it cost to run your department? $500,000 a year?
just about three eighty.
So everything that the income tax generates goes there. So where are you gonna get the money?
How do you justify a $7 raise when your water department's losing money?
Well, that's the deal that we made, and it wasn't a raise, it was a kind of a
I understand
stage.
those raises.
You can understand it any way you wish, but the bottom line is we agreed to hire her at the starting wage and then step it up after she was after she, went through the,
But the same token, you're running that deficit,
it was,
and you're wanting to give people raises?
we gave everyone a raise, Ernest Crabtree,
Yeah, everybody got a raise.
everybody got a raise.
Well, I understand, everybody should get a raise.
And
$7? Everybody gets $7? I didn't get $7.
Huh?
that's why I guess I'm not ready.
I didn't get $7 either.
I guess we should let you go.
I do two jobs, I guess I should get paid for both.
I don't know, Ernest, what's your solution?
It looks to me like we better keep better records.
Well, part of the issue is we have a lot of broken meters.
Oh, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
So that's poor management.
And
I'm not saying, who's the management? Council.
we're trying to get.
We're the management. So why ain't the meters fixed?
We've purchased new meters, and the guys haven't had time to put the meters in.
Well, they just haven't been put in.
So what percentage have been put in?
What
What percentage?
We've got 10 meters
Percy,
in.
he's the one in charge.
We just put in 10 test meters for Trina to, check to see if they would agree with our current software.
Wouldn't like 70 be 10%?
Oh, no, we put in 10 meter
They
heads.
put 10
That's it,
meters.
10 meters.
For
10.
10
But I'm
meters.
saying 70 would be 10%, something like that. How many?
No, that's not right.
Yeah.
750?
we got
So you'd have to put
possibly-
75 to get 10%.
Yes.
Why not put 10% in?
Because the system we have won't read the new meters, so all the meters are, it's
All
a
the meters have to
software
go in at
issue.
one time.
I mean, I have everything there, we're ready to put them in, we're just waiting on the software and what have you.
You can't do the software, because if, the way I understand it, the software we have, it will read the current meters. If you change the software now, then you're gonna go back to physically reading the meters that we do have, is that not right? I think that's right. So this really has to almost be a seamless transition from old meters to new meters, software to new software. What's your solution?
And we are working on that.
Better management.
Oh.
Flat out. I mean, better management is key. I mean, you see how much is coming in, this is how much you spend.
Well, there's certain fixed costs, and I just described one of them.
I understand.
So,
And the
I
other,
spend time there too.
and the other one is we're trying to develop a plan of what it truly costs us for a gallon of water to produce.
What's it really cost you then?
We haven't gotten that finished yet. And
All you
then
gotta do is divide it.
it's
You got 750 meters. You're pumping 1 million gallons.
to produce all.
You can't figure that out?
We
I can figure exactly how much that is.
No,
Get
because
busy.
we're to just pull something out of thin air.
This isn't thin air. Water departments are all over the place.
And I understand that.
They get rain every single day.
I completely understand it.
The same formulas get used every single day. Use it. I mean,
You know what's rich about this, Ernest, is you sat here on council with me on how many years, and you barked and barked and barked about like a pay scale.
Yeah.
Did you, and that's something you wanted to do, and always talked about doing and having to, did you ever do it?
yeah, we did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I
Rusty got
don't remember doing
Rusty
it.
got a raise on it.
Yeah, but did you remember, I had to call all these communities, and I found all that information out for you, so I could furnish you, spoon-fed you all the information, because it's something you were dying to do, wanted to do, and implement.
And then you just gave him $10 flat out.
And then,
That's what
did
you
you
did.
ever, but did you, that was your
Yeah,
baby,
I
did
did
you
it
ever
too.
look
I
at?
did it too. I was on the finance committee.
So that's bad management, wasn't it, Ernest, if you didn't do that, that's.
At that time, the water department was fiscally fine.
It's
Hey,
because
Ron.
we have held rates, Ernest, we've tried not to raise people's rates in a time of really downturn.
And I've said all along that raises are gonna happen. You know, it costs more to run the water.
Yeah, we need to do it, and we're behind, and we need to raise the monthly rate. I don't know of anything in anybody's household, anything, on any level that has gone down.
That's true.
Okay.
Very true.
So, we have the same problem, from wages to insurance. I mean, insurance has gone up, our insurance is outrageous around here. So it's just the cost of doing business, so you can call it anything you want to, but I would call it the fact that really this council's tried to hold the line on, rate increases, but, you know, we'll follow your lead, and how much you want us to raise it by?
I want you to decrease.
Well, of course you would.
Yeah. You're gonna do what I want you to do. Decrease.
We'd all
Well,
like
that
that.
makes sense, because
We'd all like.
Because I'm already paying a reader tax. Why not?
I just explained that.
Give me a
generally.
decrease on reader too, while you're at it. Let's do
Let's
that.
just turn the lights off in here.
You know.
All right.
Oh, how much is coming in, Kelly, on reader right
I
now?
know it's 400 and change, but I just explained that the police department takes every penny of that to operate the department. So where's the rest of that come from, Ernest? You don't know, do you?
Show me the paperwork.
Well, you don't
I'll
know,
tell you
but you
where.
got all these ideas. but
Show
you
me the
don't know.
paperwork, I'll tell you where.
Got
Well, you know, if you're gonna have,
Thank
if
you.
you're
You're gonna give somebody
if you're
13
gonna bring
minutes,
me
they're
the
not gonna give you
problem, bring me the
nothing.
solution.
That's enough.
You're gonna give somebody 13 minutes, and you're not gonna give me 13 minutes?
Not if you're gonna be disruptive,
I'm not being disruptive.
You are.
He was raising his voice.
okay? Then carry on.
Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right,
I make a motion, we adjourn.
discussion. Roll call.